So I welcome you to my channel. I'm by the names of Nampewo Margaret, presenting a biometric attendance system. So as I've been explaining my system in the videos earlier, I explained my problem, my AI problem I identified, and it concerns attendance recording in institutions or in any meeting that needs to record those who are present and those who are absent. So initially, as I explained, we've been using the file-based system where we record attendance on paper. Each individual is tasked to record attendance on paper, and then those papers are filed or kept somewhere, which is kind of tiresome and takes a lot of time. And on top of that, records can easily be dismantled or destroyed by either the fire, rain, and any other factor. But this system will be automatic in the first place. Then also storage will be improved because there will be no papers to track the attendance of those who attended. And so I identified my AI environment, and I first defined what an AI environment is. So it is just a surrounding of an agent. We're gonna still see what an agent is in the slides to come, but here an environment is a surrounding, like a surrounding of somebody, like an agent that acts in the system. So the agent takes input from the environment through the sensors, and then will deliver output through the actuators, or we can call them effectors. So depending on my AI project, I decided to use the finger place onto the fingerprint module as my environment, since it is deterministic. So what do I mean by deterministic environment is that the next state of the environment is completely determined by the current state of action by an agent. So what is better about this environment is that the outcome is fixed basing on the state of the AI. So that's why I chose the deterministic environment. Then I will straight go to AI agents, and an agent is anything that can perceive its environment through the sensors and acts upon that environment through the effectors or actuators. Now, like, I can take an agent of a human being having sensors like eyes to see, ears to hear, and then hands to be the actuators or those effectors that put into action what it senses. So then there are a number of agents, as I've explained before. We have the human agent, we have the software agent, and those are the agents I'm gonna use in my system. So more light on the human agent is that a human agent will use its eyes as sensors and hands as actuators, since it will have to sense where actually to place the finger on the module, and then the hands will put it into action. That's why I'm choosing the human hands as the actuators. So also there is a software agent. As you hear software, if you have a background of IT, so this agent have the encoded bit of strings and its programs and actions. So it has a bit of strings that acts as programs and actions, such that it can put into action what is being ordered in the algorithm of that software. So the data set I chose, it is the Sokofing data set, and it's what I'm moving with, because it, according to me, according to my research, it had features that could help me train my AI system to actually perform the best of what I expected from it to eradicate the problem I identified. Then I go to the informed and uninformed search. So I will first throw more light on the informed search. So under informed search, algorithms have information on the goal state. So therefore the searching process is guided with help of more efficient searching information. So there is information of what you actually search for. And under informed search, I took the greedy search. What happens in the greedy search? So greedy search is an uninformed search that takes the route that seems to be closest to the goal. So for it takes that route that seems, because it already have information of about what the goal is, meaning it will try to take that route that seems to be closest to that goal. So for example, in my AI project, when a human agent places a finger onto the fingerprint module, the algorithm will have guiding information on the images that match with the current fingerprints, and therefore we'll have to push those elements to the route closer to the intended finger image. Remember, I'm using finger images. Why? Because my system will have preserved or stored the images in memory, such that on placing on the module, it is scanned and then matched with the current image or fingerprint on the module, and that in memory. So if it exists, it matches that you're the same person and then records you as present. So that's how it will be working. That's why I'm basing on the images and the fingerprint image. So that another search algorithm is the uninformed. And uninformed, as in informed we have information about the goal. Here there is no additional information, so there is no prior information about the goal we are determining or we are aiming at, rather than the description of what the problem is. So there is no more information, no additional information. So here I chose the breadth first search, and under breadth first search, the system begins with the top layers going into the lower ones. So here it uses the FIFO, that is the first in first out principle of a queue. So then if I connect that to my project, when a human agent places a finger onto the fingerprint module, the finger images on top of the array will be pushed onto the queue first. So those that are on top will be pushed into the queue, basing on the FIFO, it is the first in first out. They will be dequeued or pulled from the queue, and this will be done until the images are matched and the goal determined. So I'll go straight to AI accountability. So accountability is just a cornerstone or a basis of the governance of AI. So therefore, in my project, I took an instance of individuals being required to scan their fingerprints for the AI for the system to automatically record them as present. So if an individual fails to scan a fingerprint, the system won't be accountable. Why? Because there is failure of an agent to do so. But a system will be accountable for any issue in case somebody places or scans the fingerprints and then records them as absent. Then that will be the system that will be accountable for. So I tried to record some references of my research, and I remain Nampeo Margaret.